Hi, this is Bryan McWhorter with Black Belt Lean Thinking. In this segment, we're going to talk a little bit about the difference between leadership and management. Again, if you're going to implement a lean culture or any type of positive change or even control morale, leadership is a topic you definitely want to address. With the company that I was with in the past, as a senior trainer, they wanted me to work with developing leaders throughout the organization. And I'll admit, I didn't understand what leadership was when I started looking into that. At first, the classes that I took and books that I read on leadership, quote, ended up being on management. And it wasn't until I was probably into it a few years that the light kind of came on and I saw the difference between leadership and management. Not the same thing. And again, very important that that is recognized. And I'm going to do a quick outline of a typical organization here. So we usually have some type of a setup. Not really trying to do a pyramid scheme, but you know, the setup is going to be along this line. On the bottom, you're going to have your frontline workers. So these are the people that are the point of the spear, the ones that are getting things done. You can't keep everybody happy. But again, that's the frontline crew. We'll raise that one's mouth a little bit. The first level of management is typically going to be your lead mechanics, maybe, supervisors. But that's that front level that is between the hourly and the hourly employees. The next level, you might have department heads, maybe HR. Next level, typically staff, and on up to, say, plant manager and so on. It doesn't matter if you're dealing with a manufacturing facility, a restaurant, whatever, you're still going to have some type of variation of this. Management flows from the top down. Okay, so this side, we're used to having bosses. We're used to having someone tell us what they expect of us. And we're okay with that. We know we need managers. We need people that are setting the goals, that are responsible for those high levels, and give us our segment, our marching orders that we can follow. Again, and all that is management. Leadership does not come into play with that at all. People will follow those marching orders based on the positions of authority held by those people. So you might have a supervisor who, again, they're going to follow what he or she says because they have authority over them. Again, leadership does not come into play. Management flows from the top down. And again, we need it. I'm not knocking it. We have to have management. Where I came from before, we had a very strong management culture is what I found out. And again, I'm not blaming the people in those roles because they were handed that culture, and it's going to be very difficult to change. A leadership culture flows from the bottom up. What that means is, with leadership, okay, as management is measured from the top down, each one of these would tell the people below them, or the positions below them, whether or not they are meeting their goals or their targets. With leadership, only the people can tell if they feel protected and are willing to follow those people in the positions ahead of them. So if we were to ask one of the frontline people if they trusted the supervisor, if they thought that they had their best interests at heart, would you willingly follow that person without their authority? Again, if you've heard of leading without authority, do they have positive influence on you? That's leadership. It can only be measured from the bottom up. Just as you would do a performance appraisal measuring those people from the top down on whether or not they hit their targets, if you're going to truly measure leadership, you have to do it from the bottom up. You have to ask each of those people about the one above them, do you see them as a true leader? A leader would never sacrifice what is theirs or what is yours to protect what is theirs. And they would never sacrifice what is yours to protect what is theirs. If you've ever heard of a circle of safety, often say with staff or a department, they'll protect those people that are inside that circle. That's leadership. What you need is a circle of safety over the entire organization, where if you belong to us, you're part of our team and we're going to protect you no matter what. Unfortunately, what I've seen in the management culture is you'll see a lot of entitlement, where upper management often will act like they're royalty and they expect to be treated as much. Anytime you get into a position where the people below you think that you feel better than they are, leadership, trust is gone. In order for trust to occur, you have to have three elements. They have to feel like they're cared for. They have to feel like there's a certain amount of confidentiality. You're not going to be talking behind their back. And they've got to feel accepted on equal grounds. Then you can have trust and you can build the organization. Again, if you have just a management culture, you'll go ahead, you'll progress with the business, but you're going to have low morale and you're going to miss a lot of opportunity. When it comes to lean is people-centric. It goes on the respect of the worker. It's training and arming the people that do the work so that they can drive those improvements that they see. So they need to be empowered. If you have a management culture versus a leadership culture, unless you have some strong leaders kind of throughout the organization to help fill those gaps, you're going to have a problem. It's going to be very difficult to really instill lean and to move ahead. Again, management, leadership, not the same thing. I'll see articles every now and then where, what makes a good manager a good leader? Well, it's influence. It's can they lead without the credentials saying that you have to follow me. Otherwise, they're just a manager. People will follow a position because they don't want to get in trouble. But that doesn't mean that person in that position is a leader. It doesn't mean there's any loyalty towards them. And look at your own organization. Again, look at instilling a leadership culture. Again, it's all about respecting and protecting. A manager's motto is, you work for me, I will tell you what to do. A leader's position is, I'm here for you, what can I do? How can I help? What do you need to be able to do your job? We're in this together. Thank you. Thanks for watching the video. Again, check out my website, Black Belt Lean Thinking. Till next time.